to What Would You Think? We're talking everything about Avengers Doomsday. Let's get right into it.
It's me, Alvin.
How's it going, guys? It is me, Amir, and like we said, we are back for Avengers Doomsday discussion. I think it was on Wednesday. It was where we had the infamous Avengers live stream. Marvel Studios, they did a 5 hour live stream where they went and I guess unveiled all of the new actors or just the cast of the new Avengers movie. So Alvin and I were both working that day. We were both watching it live, and we wanted to make a video kind of talking about all of our thoughts and impressions on the news. Because as you can tell, I am very, very excited about a certain actor that's coming back.
Yes. So let's get to here, because you also watched it live, right? I wasn't going crazy. I was the one that just had it on in the background and I was working. Every time I would hear a music cue, I would look to my phone, right?
I didn't start it at the beginning because I didn't know what was going on until maybe like I think halfway through or so. Because I saw people on Twitter complaining about just like, oh, I can't believe I'm watching this. I'm like, what is going on? What are they talking about? But yeah, once I kind of chimed in, had it on my phone and then on the TV behind me for work. So anytime, yeah, like you said, any music cue, I'm like, all right, let me pause the edit and roll back out and then just watch to see what was coming out. So
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, the cast has been unveiled, and I want to guess your thoughts on the reveal, and then you will guess my thoughts. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact you are over the moon about this cast for 15 people. For like 12, 15 people, I know you are absolutely over the moon about them. And I know that as soon as that first chair popped up and it was just a run of these best of names, I knew that you were locked in. All right. And as soon as it hit to like what, Pedro Pascal at the very end, you're like, oh, tell me I'm wrong.
I would say you're like 50% right. Pedro Pascal, like once they stopped doing X-Men characters, that's when I stopped giving a shit. But I didn't really lock into the announcement until I think Alan Cumming was, or no, Ian McKellen was the first one that got me surprised. Because you and I, we watched the Marvels live in theaters together, and Kelsey Grammer was the end credit scene. Both you and I thought it felt cheap and it was very desperate. And I already went over my thoughts on Patrick Stewart coming back as Charles Xavier in Multiverse of Madness, despite retiring from Logan. So those didn't really get me excited because I'm like, they've already been in on the MCU payroll. That was expected. Ian McKellen coming back since Days of Future Past, that was huge. But the first one that really made me like, whoa, wait a minute, what is going on? Was Alan Cumming because he was only next to, and I heard all about in interviews where like he didn't have a good time filming because the makeup was a very annoying process for him, and I think he also said he didn't really enjoy working with Bryan Singer, but the biggest pop off of all was definitely James Marsden because as you know, big Cyclops fan, and I have really felt like the character hasn't really been given his due since like X-Men 2, but even then he was like dispatched pretty early in that movie. But as a kid, 2006, Cyclops killed in like the first 10 minutes of the movie. I was like heartbroken. And then once they announced Days of Future Past, I'm like, wow, they're going to be bringing back all of the OG actors. I cannot wait to see Cyclops. And if it was 2014, that was like what 11 years ago. I was like 15 years old. Didn't get it. Cyclops was only in the end credit scene. Very, very disappointed. Where I'm like, man, every other OG character got to come back and do something. Cyclops didn't get shit. Now it's 2025, and when that chair was revealed, it almost had a delayed reaction because I was like in disbelief. Like when I first saw it, I'm like, yeah, right, sure. And then just letting it sit, I was like really popping off. I think I sent Omid and Alvin a voice memo of me just saying like, let's go. So I was just so excited. But yeah, the X-Men actors I was very excited for. The rest of the MC stuff I wasn't too interested in because I mean it was all of what we expected in Phase 4. But yeah, I would say you were correct in guessing that I was excited to see the X-Men are returning from the Foxverse. Sure.
Yes. Let me ask you real quick
Yeah.
before you guess mine. Did you cry? Because I know when Omid saw Hugh Jackman came back from that Ryan Reynolds reveal in
Yeah.
2022, he cried. He sent all you, me, Owen a video. Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but like I was like actually like oh I went on my knees and I was like this is like just letting my body kind of feel it.
Yeah.
So that was like a much bigger reaction than I was expecting
Yeah.
for me to have. So yeah, I didn't. I one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, you should probably get like your face cam ready just in case James Marsden is coming up." Like, he's not gonna be in this. Like, I'm not getting my hopes up over again. So part of me wishes that I did record it live so I can kind of see myself and kind of relive that moment. But no, I didn't cry like Omi did. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a very very big reaction out of me that I was not expecting.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So.
Yeah.
And then knowing you, Alvin, you know, you were the connoisseur of cinema and you love the MCU during its heyday. And I think my reaction is I think for the newer X-Men actors, I feel like you were like me kind of excited, but I think now that you let the cameos or the reveals kind of simmer and sit, I don't think you're as excited about it as I am in particular for it feeling cheap. And I think you and I should be on the same page of like, I'm actually kind of sad that, or not sad, but like, to me, Channing Tatum isn't Gambit. He's like, he's
Yes.
a fun joke version of that character.
Yes.
I think at the end of the day, that's all he is they made Gambit a joke.
Yes.
So I'm like, for certain people, I think they're going to be happy to see him have another viral line like, "Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here." But to me, I'm like, all right, just he can be in this one, but like I don't want it to overstay its welcome because that was like its own send off in Deadpool and Wolverine, and also you didn't like Deadpool and Wolverine, so I think that also plays a part in. I think for you, just feeling like this is very desperate for also the fact that they revealed it before the movie, which it's like, imagine if this happened and no one knew it. I think that would have been incredible. But am I right in guessing that the X-Men characters probably at initial reaction you were excited because Nightcrawler is like your favorite X-Men character, and I'm pretty sure you love X-Men too. But I'm guessing did the hype die down for you now?
So, a little bit of history, audience. Amir has known me since 2004. It's been 21 years and he knows me. So he's spot on. I will say though, I was not excited about any of the Foxmen. I was surprised at Alan Cumming, James Marsden, Rebecca Romaine. Wow. Again, Ian McKellen. All the Foxmen coming back, I was not happy. I was disappointed and surprised. Again, you know, I think one of the things you said when we left Deadpool and Wolverine, when I told you I didn't like
Alvin
it,
is consistent.
yes, that is the perfect thing to describe me as consistent, right? So this cast does not thrill me. On top of the fact that the Russos have made nothing good since Endgame, right? This is what
Yes.
they're resorting to get audiences back in seats. And I don't know, there's a lot of discussions about the marketing of it, you know, setting chairs up for 5 hours. Was it genius or was it stupid? I am of the camp.
I think it's genius. In fact, they had 3 million people live watching chair reveals that required no talent to pay for aside from Robert Downey Jr. I got to give them their flowers. I don't think that was the Russo's idea. I think someone at Marvel came up with that in their marketing team. I thought that was a great idea.
I think a financial analyst came up with the idea when he found out how big the budget was going to be and they couldn't afford true marketing, right? Because you take a look at all of these names. The budget, this probably will be the most expensive movie ever made, right?
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's gonna it's gonna take that title away from Electric State.
Yes,
Actually, another
exactly.
Russo
Electric
movie.
State, $380 million to produce. Are you joking me? Chris Pratt cannot be
There's
worth
money
that much.
laundering going on behind that.
Yes. So yeah, I am not excited. I'm not thrilled. And of course, I say that now, but when you see that first promotional thing come out and you see them, it's like I might be swayed, but I texted you guys, when Patrick Stewart came on, his name came on, the man is 84 years old. Let him
Yeah, he says
rest.
this is elder abuse.
This is borderline elder abuse. Same with Ian McKellen, right?
Yeah,
I know that they mean a lot to people, but to me, this screams playbox action figure storytelling where you just get the things that you think are cool and people recognize and you put them in. And it's like, yes, I I need to kind of understand the thought process behind it because we've been talking about this since we first heard that Disney acquired Fox. I am more interested
2019.
in the rebooted X-Men in the MCU than I am of them bringing them back because anytime they bring back these old actors, it diminishes the seriousness of when they actually bring in the new actors because now
I agree.
they are not letting go, right? They refuse to let go of the past. I think Deadpool and Wolverine was a decent send off to the Foxverse. Again, decent at best, not even good, right?
The credits were the best part of that movie.
I think Logan should have been the end of the Foxverse,
I agree.
in my
I
opinion,
agree.
right? And the fact that Kelsey Grammer is back, bro, what?
Frazier got canceled, right? I think he
Yes.
needs a new job.
No, literally, like it just reeks of desperation. Bringing RDJ back as Doom, bringing the X-Men back, and I, it seems obvious based off the casting, but they are probably doing Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah, so because I mean, I'm gonna be. I know you have the trade of Secret Wars. I have the Omnibus, and I want to read it before Doomsday in particular, so I can get a better understanding. Because I've seen videos and like a read through of Secret Wars, and just everything that I've heard of that story. It's such a Reed and Doom story that I'm like, the fact that they're trying to shoehorn an Avengers versus X Men in it, which I did read, and I'm like, that requires its own build up for it to truly matter. Otherwise, it's just going to be Avengers versus X Men in name and not really have the events or the significance from the book for that to kind of be like a faithful adaptation. But I think you're right that it is going to be an Avengers versus X Men. I mean, there's a chance that it could still be good. I mean, because of Rivals, I did go back and rewatch like the better Marvel movies, and in particular, it was like Civil War, Endgame, Infinity War, and I do think the Russos, if they know how to do one thing, I do think they know how to make Marvel movies. Do think they make them very competently. Even all of the issues that because I did watch the Electric State, I give it like a 5. I don't think they're inherently the problem as directors for those projects, but because I don't want to come off as like a gatekeeper. But now I'm seeing on Twitter like everyone is saying like, "Oh, James Marsden's aura is gonna carry this entire movie." I'm like, you guys weren't saying this before. Like now it feels like kind of poser ass fans that like didn't like those movies, and now that the MCU is giving them something that they can recognize from the past. Now to them, it would legitimize those movies, which I think is already bullshit. Like, I think those movies are already almost all of them are better than the MCU. So, but I don't want to let my cynicism take away from the impact of these characters coming back. Because, like you said, I do want to see the rebooted version of the X Men come in sooner rather than later. But to me, for this big ass event movie, I don't want them to compromise their new X Men by shoehorning them into like tertiary characters. So while I do think Hugh Jackman needs to retire, like I think he has done so much, like not to say damage, but he is like has so much ownership over Wolverine that it's gonna make it damn near impossible for I think anyone to give the new Wolverine actor a fair chance. And like you're saying, it's this inability to move on. But the fact that we get to see Alan Cumming again, who has only been in one movie, James Marsden never got his shake. I can see them doing justice to those characters since they haven't been on screen for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because I don't want to be cynical. Because I'm going to admit that I think the day after the reveal and my excitement like subsided just a little bit, I started seeing tweets online where people were shitting on the announcement, and I'm like, I agreed with what they were saying, but I'm like, I don't want to already kind of ruin that moment with cynicism.
Yeah.
Not that it's unwarranted, but I was like, let me sit with this moment a little bit longer. But I do think everything you said is accurate. I think it's valid.
Yeah. That's interesting that you mentioned them doing these characters justice, because me personally, I do not think so, and I think Cyclops fans will remain starving. I am sorry, but I do not think that James Marsden will get his flowers, Alan Cumming will get his flowers, Ian McKellen will get his flowers, so on and so forth. I think that I don't know, man. I just don't have any faith in this franchise, or sorry, these directors, the story, these characters that they're trying to bring in, right? I find it very interesting that a lot of the stuff that you're mentioning that you're excited about are the X-Men, the Foxmen stuff, whereas for me, while they were a massive part of my childhood, right? I have such a reverence for those movies, but for me, the most interesting part of this marketing tactic were the returning names. Chris Hemsworth, Vanessa Kirby, David Harbour, Tenoch Huerta? Bro.
Yes, I have that new one coming back. I agree with that.
I was so hyped when you see Letitia Wright, Tenoch Huerta, Winston Duke, right? And like Simu Liu. They're throwing Simu Liu a bone after 17,000 days, bro.
Yes, I agree with that. But it's like those were the expected names. But I guess for you, it's like since they were part of Phase 4, they had nothing. They were like not developing them at all.
Yeah.
So that's why you were relieved to see them, because you thought they might just forget about them.
Yes. So you see how, I don't know how it was online when the names were being revealed and the discourse around it, but I would expect a lot more like vocality, like people were very vocal about the X-Men coming back and how much hype that was. For me, I am more invested in the MCU story, right? I don't care that they're bringing in these Fox characters and trying to make them right, dude. How about you focus on the characters you have at hand and do them correctly, right? Show me more of what Shang-Chi has been doing. Show me more of how, Letitia Wright, Shuri has been as Black Panther, right? What's Thor been doing?
Thor, I'm like, I don't care about the character anymore after Endgame. But I think you're right. It's that those are the characters that are naturally a part of this story, and you do care about them, because I think one thing that everyone can agree upon for the MCU is, even if their movies are very mid, they're very consistent, they're very formulaic. One thing that they know how to do very well is like character building. Like we do care about these characters, even if they're in bad movies. By the end of the movie, we're like, oh, at least I liked this character, or they deserve better because they're such great characters, like how we felt about Captain America, Sam Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say, just for me, I mean, since I will always like the X-Men more than the Avengers. Mm-hmm. That to me was such a big event, and yeah, there's a lot of bias playing, because like I hope you're not right, where I'm like, I get my hopes up again, and then James Marsden is just in it for like 10 minutes, not even, or if like he's a part of the universe that gets wiped away because of Secret Wars. That would make me devastated. I'm like, dude, like that's what I get for believing again and like having hope and getting excited. So I don't want that to be the case, because I'm like, man, I've always had that happen. for Cyclops. I mean, even aside from James Marsden, like Ty Sheridan never got anything to do, even though I think he was great as that character.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I'm very biased for wanting. That's the only one I really care about is just Cyclops. Like, I obviously I love Ian McKellen, but I don't think he needed to come back because I thought he had a perfect send off. Same thing with Charlie Xavier. I don't think he needed to come back. But yeah, I mean, I do want to see how they pay off all these Phase Four storylines because Shang-Chi, his end credit scene went really nowhere with Captain Marvel and Hulk. What is Black Panther going to be doing? Tala Khan going to be doing? Um, but I feel like those are harder ones to for Marvel to do right because those require development. So I'm like, the easier, safer option is for them to rely on other movies that did the writing. Like, I think you still give No Way Home like an 8 out of 10. You said, right?
No Way Home is yeah, I mean, I would give it a it's the best of the multiversal movies in my opinion. But again,
Yeah.
you just know that you know me. I hate multiverse stories because of stuff like this. They bring back 12 or 13 cast members from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Why?
Because like they're lazy and it's easy because they don't have to worry about the development. Because
Yeah.
I mean, we always say this: the MCU is like a television show. It's not really a movie, or they're not movies. So I think that they're calculated in that. Oh, let's grab characters that don't require us to do any actual work to develop because you like the character, you like the actor, you know them from their movies. We're not going to do any legwork.
Mm.
But what I'll say is, I think No Way Home handled that very well. So obviously, it's not the same creative team behind that, but there's a chance that they could be doing the X-Men um, service and handle them with care rather than just be cheap thrills and gimmicks.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
Yes. I think I see where you're coming from, where it's easier to develop things that are from the past and kind of like rely on those movies because you would just have to spend less work, um, you know, you know, kind of developing certain characters. But I feel like that is a big disservice to the already existing MCU characters who need that development, right? So you're taking away from developing, yeah, these characters that need these things, right, that kind of are spelt out for the audience rather than just, hey, remember this guy who did this cool thing, kind of?
I agree. It's like almost like a self-inflicting wound in the sense of, oh man, the audience they don't care about our characters in the same way that they do these legacy characters, but it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in that they're not caring about your characters because you keep bringing back old actors that are already established
Yeah.
at the cost of your own new cast.
Yeah.
So like, I know everyone is saying, who the hell is going to be on the Avengers? Because like they don't have Captain America, or I mean they have Captain America, but like all of the core six, they're not there anymore. They're not going to be a part of it. There's like a new team of Avengers, but Phase Four hasn't done any of the groundwork to set that up. Where people are like, I have no idea what to expect from the team, and it's been what now 6 years since Endgame, right?
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, so I can see what you're saying in that uh, for the core audience of the MCU, because this is a perfect story I have. My coworker, I told him how excited I was that James Marsden came back, and he was like, "Man, really? They're bringing back those characters again?" They're like, "I thought Deadpool and Wolverine already did that." So he was like, "I was wanting to see more MCU representation. Like, why are we going back to that well of movies that no one cared about?" So him and I were arguing for like 45 minutes during our lunch, back and forth on our team's chat of which, like I was saying, I think the Fox movies are much better than the MC movies, and him vice versa. And I don't know if how you're seeing online is the common consensus from people that are they more upset that there wasn't Captain Marvel, Hulk, and like Scarlet Witch, all these other expected characters that weren't revealed, like Spider Man, or are they more happy about the X Men? Like, do you know what narrative is more popular right now?
I don't
Are
know.
people satisfied?
I don't know what the narrative is, but I am part of that camp where I'm questioning where are these characters that are already established. Wanda has had the probably most successful post Endgame story in terms of WandaVision. I'm not gonna count Doctor Strange because while I do enjoy that movie, I think it was a retread. But Wanda,
But she died.
I I yeah, technically I guess, but you don't know. It's Elizabeth Olsen's.
Yeah, it's not confirmed,
Yeah.
but I think it's safer to assume that she died there, right?
Yeah, but I
And they're
feel
gonna
like
find another way to bring it back.
yeah, Wanda is like the most prominent female superhero
Yeah,
that people would recognize. She's a very
100%.
big marketing tactic, and like it would make sense for her to be in it. Kamala Khan, Haley Steinfeld, two big, mainstays or like could be mainstays of the Young Avengers. Where are they? Right. So yes, I am part of that camp where I am disappointed that there's no Cumberbatch, there's no Holland, there's no, you know, uh, Amon Villani or Brie Larson or anyone. Like, where's Mark Ruffalo and Jeremy Renner, right? But yes, they do bring in the X Men. However, it does. I have a theory, and I know that it is confirmed that this is not the full cast. It is
Yeah.
confirmed that this is not the full cast, and I do have a theory about when or how they will reveal it. But I will let you talk, and then I can go into the theory if you want me to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can kind of go into it. My expectation of how the X Men are going to be a part of this is, I'm guessing, Doctor Doom is going to be pulling the strings, and it's going to be like a Civil War Baron Zemo kind of type of thing, where he's like, the best way to have the hero for me to defeat the heroes is have them fight each other. And I'm guessing in the aspect of all of that fighting, he might be able to get like whatever is going to be the new MacGuffin for him to get ultimate power. But I I do think that like Doctor Strange is for sure going to be a part of this because he's such a big part of um, Secret Wars and he's such a popular character. Spider Man, I don't know if he's going to be in it because I think they said Spider Man 4 is filming right now, so he might not be available to shoot for this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited to hear what your theory is. Is this based off of any books or is it kind of your guess?
So it's not a theory about the story; it is a theory about the casting. Um,
The
and
X Men or the ones that aren't revealed yet?
the ones that aren't revealed yet, because
Okay.
this screams just like a perfect opportunity, right? You're at Comic-Con, Feige's on stage, right? And then he brings out the cast. James Marsden's there, Alan Cumming, Ian McKellen, and then Anthony Mackie, Simu Liu, all the chairs pretty much, right? They put a picture up of the chairs and Robert Downey Jr., right? And
Yeah.
then it's pretty much going to be a recreation of 2013 Comic-Con when Tom Hiddleston came out as Loki in character. You are going to see the screen crackle and flash, and then Deadpool hacks the screen. Ryan Reynolds gets the mic. He's like, how dare you bring back Gambit from a character of my movie and these X-Men without bringing me in. And then Deadpool is going to be in the green room. He's going to have the live stream and the camera. You're going to see Hugh Jackman, Elizabeth Olsen, Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch, Mark Ruffalo, Jeremy Renner, all these mainstays. And he's like, oh, you thought you can do this without us, Feige? And then they all bum rush the stage, and there's like 1,000 people in Hall H just cheering, crying, creaming their pants, changing their pants. And that's how I predict it's going to go down. July 25th, you can quote me in San Diego. All right? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, Charles.
I think you're wrong. I don't think. Yeah, you said the line too. Tell me I'm wrong, Charles. No, I don't think you're wrong, and that gets me sad because I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, dude, Deadpool needs to take a break, especially with all of the controversy that's going on with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. I'm like, dude, like, once Deadpool is a part of this, it feels like he just kind of hijacks it, and I'm like, Avengers should be serious. I don't want jokes like Deadpool or even the fact that he's making it about himself. But I do think you're exactly right, and that's such an easy pop off way, especially like how do you get an even bigger moment than take off the mask?
Yeah.
RTJ doing that reveal thing.
Yes.
Like I think you're exactly right. But I'm like, for that exact same thing, don't you think the X-Men would get a much bigger reaction at Comic-Con?
I think you will get a Halle Berry, a Famke Jensen, an Elliot Page, a Sean Ashmore, a Hugh Jackman, right? You'll get
I don't want Hugh Jackman. He's had his chance.
you.
Everything else I like.
You cannot bring James Marsden back in the classic Jim Lee outfit or the astonishing outfit without putting him next to
So
Hugh
you
Jackman.
don't think he's going to be in the black suit. You want him to be in the comic accurate suit.
He is going to be in the comic accurate suit. Everyone in this movie is going to be in a comic accurate suit. You can quote me on that, all right? Take it to the bank.
I don't know if I can see Alan Cummings Nightcrawler in like a red and white like singlet though. You know what I mean?
Alan Cummings Nightcrawler will be CGI just like Kelsey Grammer's Beast. You can quote me on that.
No.
You can quote me on that, brother.
I do not want a CGI Alan Cummings.
You can quote me on that. You will have 17 completely CGI characters.
They would do the Dark Phoenix. I can see them doing a Dark Phoenix, or even like, look at Paul Bettany. Like I think they do very simple painting, and then they'll amplify it with CGI. There's no way. I would hate that if they do a fully CGI Nightcrawler, especially with the fact that this comes out in like a year or like a little bit more than a year.
Mm-hmm.
Their post-production time is going to be insane with all of the special effects. I'm like, I do not want to add another aspect in there. Okay, make an entirely new CGI character that everyone's got to interact with because it's going to look like shit.
Yeah, but that's how you save time and money. And Alan Cummings, time and money.
If they're shooting it in between the next season of Traders, I think we should be good.
You think
but you're not wrong. I don't think like they're probably. I mean, I think Halle Berry and Famke Jensen are for sure coming back. But I'm like, I don't really need Wolverine to come back because he makes it about himself again. I'm like, I don't think we as X-Men fans are starved of Wolverine content.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I don't know. But I wouldn't hate it if he's in the OG Singerverse costumes.
They're not. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Magneto will get the classic helmet on the horns on the helmet with the big cape and the purple. Charles Xavier will be. Actually, you know what?
He was comic accurate with the yellow chair.
Real talk. I just thought of this. Are they going to be the X-Men 97 versions? Because when they unveiled the chairs, they had the X-Men 97 theme playing, not the Bryan Singer theme playing.
Yeah, I noticed. It was the X-Men 97. I think it's... I wonder if they probably own it. But I don't think they're going to be X-Men 97 variants because they're like a cartoon. And even the Russos were mentioning like, oh, we're going to do a... Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of thing where we can bring in what if characters and other animated characters. So I don't think that they would be the counterparts of X-Men 97. And I mean, even with my headcanon, I'm not even going to really consider it part of the Singerverse.
No.
I'm like, this is a side story.
No, they're probably going to be like, this is the Logan verse. When Charles Xavier had a seizure and murdered all the mutants, this is the Logan verse. Right?
Or is the one that before the Sentinels killed them in Deadpool.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, he gets to be back with his version of the X-Men. So there's like writing involved in development, even though that's all off screen.
And you know for a fact they're going to be brought into Secret Wars. You're going to get a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man interacting with an RDJ Iron Man variant and Hugh Jackman Wolverine with a Nick Cage, Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider and Wesley Snipes Blade. Daredevil is there for
Ben
some.
Affleck,
yes.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, Daredevil.
Exactly. You're gonna get all of that, dude. And at the end of that movie, they're gonna be on their own world, and they're just gonna be waving to the mainline MCU, and they'll be like, "Okay, our world is safe from total annihilation. We're gonna be over here. See you guys." Just to keep that in posterity. Sorry, what did you say?
I mean, that's not how Secret Wars works, though. So I'm like. I think if they bring all of these worlds in, it might be just to destroy them.
Knowing the Russos and knowing Feige, because Feige actually produced those movies, he will not let anyone touch his OG babies. All right?
Obi puts respect on their name. Put some respect on it.
They would not let anyone destroy those universes because of how much it means.
Well, he let them break the neck of Charles Xavier when Scarlet Witch would not be able to outsmart or out telepath him. There's
Dude,
no way.
dude, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, and I don't really care. This movie already sounds so bad. All right,
It's gonna be like Soup's fan fiction then.
you're gonna have a bunch of sweaty nerds packed into a theater, and when they see something they recognize, they're gonna be yeah, they're gonna be crying and like screaming and cheering.
And creaming.
Yes.
Screaming and creaming.
Yes. Right. They will clap at anything that they recognize. So.
And I don't like that because I mean, again, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper, but I'm seeing all of these people saying like, man, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for James Marsden to come back. I'm like, but you haven't been saying anything before this,
Yeah.
so it feels very cheap, like to ride on the hype and build fake enthusiasm for people to get clicks out of. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me being cynical. But
Yeah, I think we grew up with them. We've been having this for like 20 years. We are cynical, and we have the right to gatekeep. All right, these are our
Yes.
versions of these characters.
This is my Cyclops.
Exactly. How about you? How about you just put some respect on their names? All right.
Yeah. So I will say now that we're a little bit apart from the reveal, I am now back at worry for the Avengers Doomsday because again it's just all so desperate. And I was telling Alvin before we were recording, I just recently saw Magazine Dreams, which stars Jonathan Majors, and since we don't really know, there was like news stuff that came out about Jonathan Majors, but overall just about the movie, I thought he was incredible. And I'm like, man, he's such an incredible actor that the MCU really could have benefited having him be their Thanos, because it's like it just all of this feels so scattered. And I'm like, I don't even know if by the end of this it's gonna be Tony Stark as Doom. I don't know, because I'm like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So that's when that makes sense. If it's a multiverse movie, then he's just an evil variant of Iron Man. I feel like people would like that. It's like, oh, what if our world's greatest hero becomes our world's greatest threat? It's so simple and easy. I'm like, if you were gonna do RDJ, just do that. If you're not doing Secret Wars, why waste it? Because I'm like, you were probably excited seeing Pedro Pascal's name come up, but I'm like, I don't know him as Reed yet, so I'm not really excited because I still am not bought by his casting. I think he, to me, out of the four, seemed like the worst casting.
I was just saying this to like my mom, my sister, and my coworkers too. I'm tired of Pedro Pascal, dude. I know that he's rich,
Yeah.
but I'm tired of him. He's in that Apple ad where he's dancing and he's sad and depressed.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him, bro. He's in Last of Us in 2 weeks. I'm tired of him, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, when Doomsday comes out,
Mandalorian and Grogu.
he's gonna have 2 Disney movies coming out within 2 weeks of each other. All right, this man is rich. He's making bank. All right, I'm tired of him, bro. I'm tired of him.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I'm like, we'll see how they do it, but just now that I'm reading more comics, I'm like, I'm not seeing him as Reed, but I'm gonna give it a fair chance. The movie still looks fine. Fantastic Four. We'll see if it's any good. But yeah, was there anything else that we wanted to discuss about the news on Doomsday?
I don't know. I'm done. I know you're getting a little bit sleepy there, so we'll probably end this video quickly. But I think the new Avengers lineup looks sick. I'm excited about that. Everything else, I don't care.
I just don't think the Young Avengers would sell. Like, I don't know if you watch this video back and watch the portion when you're talking about the Young Avengers, and then just look at my face.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm having a smile, and then it'll just go.
No. I didn't say Young Avengers. I said New Avengers. Captain America,
Same.
Thor. No, Captain America, Thor.
But you said Haley Steinfeld and Ms. Marvel. They're not Avengers.
They're Avengers, bro.
They would be Young Avengers.
Oh my god! Just because they're women? Just because they're young teenage girls?
I didn't say that.
Oh
I
my god!
I want She-Hulk to be in the movie. Where's She-Hulk? Where's
I
Tatiana
agree.
Maslany?
Bring back Tatiana Maslany. Bring back Pepper Potts. Bring back Gamora. Bring back Nebula.
We don't need Pepper Potts. RDJ's not in this movie.
He's literally the main
Iron
bad guy, bro.
Iron Man. You know what I mean? Iron Man is not in the movie.
But
we don't need Pepper Potts. It's just another $10 million out of the budget.
what
I don't
if
think we need Pepper
she's
Potts.
Mrs. Doom and she's an evil Pepper Potts? Imagine how hard that would go. Oh my
That would
god.
not go hard at all.
That would go so hard.
This movie's gonna be such a meme.
I agree. But the new Avengers lineup actually looks promising. I'm not gonna lie. You have Captain America. You have
Avengers.
I think the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts are gonna be
spoiled. They spoiled that movie.
It's not like you cared about it anyways, dude. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not like you cared about it anyways.
Good. How can you spoil the movie? They were playing like a Suicide Squad. Oh, this is our own little indie movie. So I'm like, you know, there's a chance that they didn't have the notes from the studio, and maybe they could kill some of these characters because they're such C tier, D tier characters. And then now we know that all of them except Taskmaster survives. What?
Yes.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What a joke.
So I think the Thunderbolts are actually going to be the new Avengers. And I believe, here's a theory,
I think they're going to be the Dark Avengers.
Yes. And I think that Bucky will also get a Captain America shield because Captain America Brave New World flopped.
No, he does not deserve a shield. He's still a murderer.
He's a senator. All right.
I don't know. That really killed a lot of my hype for that movie.
Huh. Interesting.
Believe it or not.
Interesting.
I will say this though. I thought I was getting more excited. Like, I thought Miles Teller had a better chance of being in Avengers than James Marsden.
Yes.
Seeing James Marsden reminded me, oh yeah, I like Cyclops more than I like the Maker. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
So, yes, I think Miles Teller being announced would make me pop off, but I wish I still had the recording of the my reaction because that was a big deal. Seeing Cyclops come back again will get me excited because I didn't believe that Toby was coming back in No Way Home until the night before, where I saw Twitter leaks and I saw the credits and it showed Tobey Maguire. I'm like, oh wow, they actually got him because before I'm like, I don't believe it. This is not real.
Yeah, no, I think the switch up is real. I think we were just completely talking how bad this movie is going to be, and then because of one man, this is your most anticipated movie of 2026.
Yes.
That is crazy,
but then it could
bro.
also be the worst movie of 2026 for me because if they do another, I swear to fucking God, if James Marsden is like the opening act, and then that's how they introduce the power of Doom, and he kills all these X-Men, and they have to relive Last Stand and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, where both of my favorite characters in those movies got killed in the first 10 minutes, I will flip shit. Can I say that? I'm gonna flip shit.
Mm-hmm. That is a very valid reaction. That is a very valid reaction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But they better not do it. They better not do me dirty like that.
Hey, I'm not gonna dox the person.
You think they're gonna be real characters, or do you think they're gonna be cameos?
I think they're probably gonna be like 15 to 20 minutes of screen time.
That's good. That's a lot. Okay.
Okay.
Like not 15 minutes in the movie, 20 minutes entire. Like they're not gonna stop being important after 20 minutes. You're saying they would have a total of 20 minutes screen time.
Here's how I think it's gonna go. You get the first act, right? Maybe on the main MCU Earth. Fantastic Four come in, an incursion happens, Doom comes in, then Act 2, you get X-Men, they're in it for the rest of the movie. Boom.
Okay, if they come in Act 2 and they're in there until the finale, I would love that.
Yeah.
So do you think James Marsden got a 2-picture deal?
Everyone in this cast, all these 57 chairs that they put down over 7 hours, they're going to be in part 2, all right?
So no one's going to die then. So there's going to be no stakes.
I think Alan Cumming will die.
He's not coming back again?
No, I think all the old heads are going to die.
What, you think Cyclops is going to die?
Well, they're going to
I think you said he was going to be in the next one.
Maybe. They will not pass up the opportunity to have Cyclops and Wolverine interact on screen again. I will tell you that for a fact. You're going to see James Marsden and Hugh Jackman interact on screen in their comic accurate suits, talking about or fighting over Jean Grey. Boom.
I don't want to see that. I just want to see Wolverine fall in line.
Dude, you can't see me right now, but I'm doing the Marty Scorsese meme. All right? You really can't see me right now, but I'm doing the absolute cinema meme.
This meme?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That's how it's going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, it's great having another discussion with you, Alvin.
Yes.
I don't know if you plan on reading OG Ultimates, but we're going to be having a book review on Fantastic Four Life Story coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
I just read it. It was a very interesting read.
Mm-hmm.
And Alvin, he let me borrow it, so we would love to do a review on that. And I think you and Omid did a review on Hulk. Right, and that's going to be coming out soon. Hulk Gray, right?
Yes. It was a good read.
I'm excited to see what you guys say about that book.
It was good. We'll do more comic book stuff.
Cool. Because I just got to the part of Ultimate Comics Ultimates.
Yeah.
Hickman era. Not New Hickman era. I just pretty much read the actual first introduction and arc of, like, the Maker. That was incredible. I loved that. Such a good story. So good.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's sick. I love that. I'm doing the exact same thing right now.
Are you actually?
I actually am. We're totally in sync.
Like, legitimately?
Yes. When you watch the video playback, you will see me do it in sync with you.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. But yeah, we don't have any other thoughts unless you do. I don't have anything else.
No, I think we pretty much summed it up. Excited, but cautious. There are a lot of potential issues with them bringing back these old actors, but for me, it's outweighed by the fact that there's a chance that we'll get to see James Marsden as Cyclops again and do some really great stuff. If he's in the OG costume, I wouldn't mind. If he's in a redone version of the Ultimate X-Men, since it's still black leather, I wouldn't mind. That would be cool. If they have to do a comic accurate version, I wouldn't mind seeing the Astonishing version, and then you save the Jim Lee one for the new Cyclops so he can get something.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to me to do the Jim Lee Cyclops back to back for two different actors, or just the toys and merchandise like that.
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine you give James Marsden either his OG, a redesigned version of the OG, Black Ultimate, since it's Secret Wars and has to do with the Ultimate Universe, or you make it Astonishing, which I would love. That would be great. Works probably better for CG.
Yeah. No.
Versus a nanotech.
I completely agree. I completely agree. I'm on the same page with you with the costuming. But I predict this movie is going to be not boring, but I'm not going to be excited.
Mess.
It's going to be a mess. We're not going to like it. We're going to be like, okay, there were cool parts to it, but it was mid. And the Russo brothers will continue their streak of not having good movies after Endgame.
It's after Endgame, or is it a non-Marvel streak?
After Endgame. After 2019.
Okay, so this will be included.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
So we will keep it locked on the Russo brother, and we'll give you guys all the news on Marvel DC news. Because we didn't even really talk about this. I didn't text you about it, but apparently Bradley Cooper is going to be in Superman. What?
What?
We'll talk about that later.
Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah.
What?
Rocket Raccoon. He's cast as a different character in Superman Legacy, or Superman 2025, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's been me, Amir.
It's been me, Alvin.
Have a great one, guys. See you next time.
See ya.